Yeah. All right, we're going to pick it up with the gospel portion. We need to go higher. Which will be St. John, the second chapter. We're going to start with the 12th verse. St. John, the second chapter. That's as fast as it gets, right? That's good, right? St. John 2, verse 12. I got it.
St. John 2 and 12. After this, he went down to Capernaum, he and his mother and his brethren and his disciples, and they continued there many days. And the Jews' Passover was at hand, and the Mashiach went up to Jerusalem and found in the temple those that saw oxen and sheep and doves and changes of money sitting. And when he had made a scourge of small cords, he drove them all out of the temple, the sheep and the oxen, and poured out the changers' money and overthrew the tables.
So now, what did Yahweh do? Show me out.
He made scourge and small cords. So he made like a whip, right?
Right, it's like a whip with many tails on it. Right, small cords on a whip. So when he saw them in the sanctuary making what? Merchandise. Okay, I like that. It's not bad. It's not bad. Making merchandise. It vexed him to see them disregarding the feast day like this. All right. So hold on. Give me Matthew 21 and 12. We'll come back here. Give me Matthew 21 verse 12. I'm going to start with 10, verse 10.
Matthew 21 and 10. And when he was coming into Jerusalem, all the city was moved, saying, Who is this? And the multitude said, This is a Mashiach, Yahushua, the prophet of Nazareth of Galilee.
Right.
And Yahushua went into the temple of the Most High and cast out all them that sold and bought in the temple, right, and overthrew the tables of the money changers and the seats of them that sold doves.
Right, come on.
And he said unto them, It is written, My house shall be called the house of prayer, but ye have made it a den of thieves.
Made a den of what?
Of thieves.
Right, a den of thieves. So it is not for us to make merchandise, of the Lord's congregation, meaning that you're just in the midst of trying to get paid, right? They was in there. They knew a lot of people was coming down. There's going to be a lot of, so they set up shop. They try to fill their own pockets, their own bellies. All right, so he made a house of prayer, it became a den of thieves. All right, so when you read it in Matthew's, it states that, he was angry with them and drove them out. But then when you go to St. John, it gets more detail. That he went and he created a scourge. Let's go back to St. John. Let's see how he drove them out.
Right, modern day, let's talk about these church, these prosperity ministry that they lure people into these churches by tithing. You tithe $100 with me. Okay, the Lord told me to dream. Specifically, you got to give me $101. It got to be 101. It can't be 102, 110. It got to be $101. And because they sticking on that number, they think it's something spiritual about this. Yeah, it got to be it's got to be something. This is a word from God, and this is how to get the people. Right.
Right. And you know what? It's all built off of what? Why are they doing this? Why are they selling this ox and all that? What's in these people? How was I?
They're looking for a sacrifice to repent for their sins. They're buying up these.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say why the people are buying, but why were they selling it?
Oh, okay.
Why were they selling it? Why is that? Why is it? What do they have? They try to get paid. They got that love of money, right? That vanity, right? That love of money. Give me your first Timothy 6 and verse 10.
First Timothy 6 verse 10. For the love of money is the root of all evil,
right?
Which while some coveted after, they have erred from the faith and pierced themselves through with many sorrows.
Right. So because they have that love of money, right? That's not, the Most High blesses us with what we need, but that excess is not of Yah, right? Try to get that extra, right? That's not of the Most High. Go up a couple verses. Go to verse 5.
1 Timothy 6 and 5.
It's not verse 3. Let's get the whole understanding.
If any man teach otherwise,
right,
and consent not to wholesome words, even the words of our Mashiach Yahushua, and to the doctrine which is according to the holiness.
Right, so this doctrine is according to righteousness, which you're about to hear. This is a doctrine. The doctrine means a set of instruction. This is a set of instruction that's according to righteousness. Read.
He is proud, knowing nothing.
Right, he's what?
He is proud, knowing nothing.
So he'll go according to what you're going to read here. He is proud and he don't know nothing. Read.
But doubting about questions and strife of words, whereof cometh envy, strife, railings, evil surmisings.
Right, envy, strife, railings, and evil surmisings. What's railings? Baruch. Railings? What is that? Who said? Arguing. Railings is arguing. Bickering, as they say. All right? That's what railings is. Right? We arguing, we bickering. This is what brings this desire to acquire, this lust. It brings arguing and bickering. It brings strife. Right? Now you want to get into fights and battles and envy. When someone has more than the other, they become envious, saying, "Oh man, why they get that? I didn't get that." Right? Evil surmisings, meaning what? Now you got plots and plans against one another. Why? Because you're in competition with one another because you're valuing, this money. You're putting it in the wrong perspective. All right? Money is something that we use, but we don't love it. It's a defense. It's part of our defense mechanism in this earth. Wisdom and money. That's our defense. Right? Read.
Perverse disputings of men, right, of corrupt minds.
Come on.
And destitute of the truth, supposing that gain is righteousness, from such withdraw thyself.
Right. If you have anybody that's telling you that you ain't right, or the righteous get paid for their righteousness, he said, from such withdraw thyself. Don't be around that person because they're trying to seduce you into some foolishness. All right? That's a very seducing spirit to say, especially when you're dealing with a people that we don't have excess, right? But our people, they're in an impoverished state, right? Even though they might be working and they can pay their bills, whatever the case may be, they don't have excess. So someone come to you and tell you the Most High gonna bless you with more, right? You might fall for that. But according to the scripture, that's an evil mind. That is a corrupt thought. All right, that the Most High gonna pay you off. All right, read.
But righteousness with contentment is great gain.
Right. Righteousness with contentment is great gain. What does it mean to be content? What is that? Being satisfied. Righteousness with being satisfied is great gain. You have what you need. You can keep the law, statutes, and commandments. You should be satisfied. Everybody want to be rich in the background. All right? What you got?
Philippians 4:11.
4:11? I already got it. Right? Everybody want to be rich in the background. You have your secret desires to drive that Bentley. Right? But we have to get that out of our spirit. You got to root it out of you. All right? That's not of the Most High. Okay? That's not of the Most High. Now, I'm not saying if somebody is rich, they can't turn and serve the Most High. We're going to get the scriptures on that in a moment. But you desiring these riches in this kingdom, that it's like desiring to have a ticket on the Titanic, right? It's desiring to take that voyage. Why? You know how it ends. It ends in the bottom of the ocean. So why are you getting on, right? Right? For the pleasure, for a short pleasure, right? Read that Philippians 4:11. Philippians 4, verse 11. We're going to see. So let me ask a question. How much of us desire to be, they don't say rich anymore. They say
Who wants to be a millionaire?
a millionaire or wealthy. Who want to get a bag? Who want to stumble upon a bag? And then, right, racks and stacks of racks and racks. Right? They make all kinds of songs about it, have all kind of sayings, you know what I mean? But it all boils back to the same spirit. You lost it. Right? That's what it all boils down to. Right? You could dress it up in any clothing you want to dress it up in. You still lusting. Right? You still lusting after this world. All right, read that.
Philippians 4, verse 11.
Uh-huh.
Not that I speak in respect of want, for I have learned in whatsoever I state I am, therewith to be content.
Right. You know.
I know both how to be abased. So I know now both how to be abased, and I know how to abound.
Right. So this is what we gotta learn. We gotta know how to be abased and how to abound. We gotta know how to act when we don't have and how to act when we have. Right? We need to experience both. The Most High will bring you through it. Right? And the way you are when you don't have, you should be the same way when you have.
That same energy.
Right, you should have that same zeal. Right? We don't have, people don't have, they get all weak and frail. And they can't get out of bed, they depressed. Right? But then when they calling everybody, right? Come on, let's go. Right? You gotta be the same way. Right? Read.
And I know how to abound everywhere, and in all things I am instructed both to be full and to be hungry,
right?
Both to abound and to suffer need.
Right? He said, I'm instructed on how to be full and how to be hungry. Right? Sometimes you might be hungry. Most I might fill you. You gotta stay the same. Right? Esau lose his money, he jump out the building. We gotta even lose our money and be like, you know what? Well, you know what? Most High give it, he take it away. First, blessed be the Most High God. Right? That's how you know you're rolling in the spirit. All right? That's how you know you're rolling in the spirit.
Listen, I remember this is a true story. A young man, one of my trips to Jamaica, I was in this is when we used to fund our own trips. We didn't have no support from the school. Like, we took our own money to travel. And the brothers left me in Kingston by myself. They went to go do something. I guess they went somewhere. I was like, I ain't going with you, brother. And I didn't have any money, right? So there was a mango tree, right? The tree was actually on the other side of the property, but the branches was hanging on my side. I was like, I was just telling them also, I was like, man, so I'm hungry. A mango fell off the tree. One of the mangoes fell off the tree. I'm looking around. I'm like, I couldn't believe it. I took the mango up, went in there, and washed it off. I was like, y'all, that was really delicious, but man, if I just had one more, I'll be full. So I went back outside. This is no lie. I went back outside. I looked around. Another mango fell off the tree. I was like, hallelujah. I got that mango, went inside, wiped it, and all praises be to the God of Israel. But you go through these things, and like the minister was saying, in good times and bad times, you have to have that same energy. But this is how the Most High proves you, right? If you just had everything, if everything was good, how could you really say you love the Most High, or you've been through something? You have to be refined in that furnace of affliction. That furnace of affliction is what? There's all these things that you have to go through in this world. We're not gonna just get a lottery ticket to the kingdom, or because of our looks or the job we have. It's through our works, the works that we put in. That's how we're gonna be proved by the Most High. None of us actually deserve to go to the kingdom, but it's through what? The mercy and compassion of the Most High. Okay, He's gonna show favor. Who's gonna make it to the kingdom? Okay, all we're doing is trying to do what? Trying to make our election sure, right? So this is I remember that just like yesterday. That was a true story. That was funny. So and 13 said, I can do all things by Hashem Hamashiach Yahweh Shai, which strengthens me.
That's right. So that's what you got to remember. When you don't have, you got to remember you can do all things by Hashem Hamashiach Yahweh Shai. The Most High will, you got it. Right? It's not your bank account that gets it, it's the Most High that gets it for you. Everybody understand that? So if you got that conviction in you, that the Most High that blesses me, it's not me that blesses me, that you can do it with them without. Right? Chips is up, hey, chips is down, hey. You know what I mean? You hustle, you do what you gotta do. Alright? So let's go back now. So we don't love that money, huh? Let's go back to 1 Timothy, sorry. 1 Timothy. We're at 6 and verse 7. 1 Timothy 6, verse 7.
1 Timothy 6 and 7. For we brought nothing into the world, and it is certain we carry nothing out.
Let's read it again.
For we brought nothing into this world,
right?
And it is certain we can carry nothing out.
Right, we brought nothing into this world, and it's certain that we can carry nothing out. We came with nothing, we leave it with nothing. Everybody understand that? So we gotta watch how we holding on to things in this kingdom. Okay? Until your items, right? Read. Oh, he just prophesied. He prophesied. Read.
And it is certain we can carry nothing out.
Right.
And having food and raiment, let us be therewith content.
Right, having what?
Food and raiment, let us be therefore content.
Right, so as long as you got food and raiment, you be content, huh? That's right. You have your covered, your clothes, you're fed, you're good. Right? Whatever else the Most High give you is extra, and all praise to the Most High. All right? Let's get the book of Job real quick. Read the book of Job.
I just got back from Vegas and San Domingo with the family, and the scripture said, "Man that traveled abroad gathered much wisdom." So, not that these Caribbean islands they are weakened by the powers that be, because a lot of these Caribbean islands have resources that can actually sustain them, but they're being raped and robbed. Okay, there's something called the IMF, the International Monetary Fund, right? That they actually lend money to these countries that they would never be able to pay it back. They always be in poverty, so they can never, take care of their island. But, just to say, things like running water, electricity, which, we get here, is like a luxury. You understand? When you have 4 hours continual electricity, water. You got some where you go, water comes on certain parts of the day, electricity, things like that. And like even sanitation. You see, like you have like here, like they come certain days we come pick up sanitation. It's not like that over there. Some place I was seeing like people dumping garbage in the water. Or you would see garbage on the side of the road. So these are things that, we take a lot of things for granted. That's why the scriptures say, be thankful for what? For raiment and what? And food. A lot of us looking for extras. We want extra stuff. And a lot of us are setting our expectations on high and we're disappointing ourselves. You understand? Because the Most High only telling you to expect this amount and you look into like times 10. You understand? Not forgetting that the Most High said, this is not our rest. Okay? So you're looking, listen, I keep using this. Time is running out. Okay? If you're still trying to strike it rich, if you still trying to be a millionaire in this time, this is not the time to do that. This is time to start storing your treasure in heaven that's going to be established right here on earth. Okay? Invest your time in doing that. Okay? The time of trying to be a millionaire, billionaire, trying to get this big bag, it's not that time. They use these rappers, these people in the movie industry to try to persuade you to think that, you could be the next Jay-Z or the next 50 Cent, Oprah Winfrey. You understand? But this is not our time for that. Our time is to, who should our role models be? The people that we read about in this Bible. Okay, these should be our role models, the ones that we are aspiring to be like. Okay, not these people that are in this world. Okay, because why? They have received their consolation at this time. Okay, the money that they have, this is their consolation. Our consolation is a Mashiach Yahushua. When you see those chariots raining down, okay, you don't want to be guessing if you're going to be beamed up like Scotty. You want to think that, you're going to be picked up in a chariot. Okay? If you see people being beamed up and you still out here, you're part of the 2/3. Okay? You wood for the fire. Okay?
Look at Job 1 and 20.
Job?
Look at Job 1 verse 20.
Job 1 and 20. Then Job arose and rent his mantle, right, and shaved his head, and fell down upon the ground and worshiped.
Right. So all that Job was going through, all the torment that he was experiencing, right? He was lamenting to the Most High in great anguish. But let's see what he said. Read on.
And said, naked come I out of my mother's womb,
right?
And naked shall I return thither.
Right.
The Most High gave, and the Most High have taken away.
Right.
Blessed be the name of Yahweh.
Right. So all that he lost, he still blessed the name of the Most High. Right. He still blessed the name of the Most High. And what? Read on.
In all this, Job sinned not.
He did what?
Sinned not.
Come on.
Nor charged the Most High foolishly.
Right. And all that he went through, he sinned not, nor charged the Most High foolishly. Right. So, you got to stay faithful no matter what you're going through, huh? Financially, you got to stay faithful. All right. Job lost it all, even health, and he stayed faithful. He knew Yah was with him. Right. Lost family members. He knew Yah was with him. Lost his business. He knew Yah was with him. Right. He knew he just got to stay right. He said he just got to stay righteous. People would tell him curse the Most High and die. He said, no, I'm going to stay righteous. All right. And that's how we got to be. Whether we have or we don't have, we got to stay the same.
Romans 8 verse 35. Who shall separate us from the love of Mashiach Yahushua?
That's right. So how could you be separated from your first love, your chief joy, who should be serving the Heavenly Father? It should be your first love and your chief joy. Right? Read on.
Shall tribulation,
right? Problems, read.
Or distress,
come on.
Or persecution,
read.
or famine, or nakedness,
Uh-huh.
or peril, or sword, as it is written, for thy sake we are killed all the day long.
Right, for the Most High, we be killed all the day long. You can put us through whatever. But we still gonna serve the Most High. Read on.
We are counted as sheep for the slaughter.
Come on.
Nay, in all these things we are more than conquerors through him that loved us.
Right, so all these things you will be able to overcome. Right? Problems don't, when they come upon you, right, you suffer it. But if you to overcome it, you gotta stay faithful. If you lose faith, then it overcame you, and you lost, right? But if you stay faithful, you stay dedicated, keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, no matter your situation, then you're going to get the victory. Everybody understand that?
For I am persuaded that neither death, nor life, nor angels, nor principalities, nor powers, nor things present, nor things to come, nor height, nor depth, nor any other creature shall be able to separate us from the love of the Most High, which is in Hamashiach Yahushua.
And that's how you got to roll, man. He said it best, man. He said death won't stop him from serving. All right? So, what's worse than that? Right? He said death ain't going to stop him. So nothing should stop us. Right? These are the examples. These things are written aforetime for our learning. All right? So if you lose a job, you lose a house, you lose your car, whatever you lose it then for the Most High. If you're gonna lose it, lose it. Don't try to hold on to it. Hold on to the Heavenly Father. Everybody understand that? Shawala. I'll go there yet. I'm gonna stay with the financial way. Right? Let's go back to 1 Timothy. We're done with Job. Going back to 1 Timothy. We're at 6
and 9.
and 9.
But they that will be rich fall into temptation and a snare,
Right.
and into many foolish and hurtful lusts,
Right.
which drown men in destruction and perdition.
Uh-huh.
For the love of money is the root of all evil.
Right. So being rich will make you fall into what? Temptations, a snare, a trap, into many foolish, hurtful lusts, right? Fulfilling desires, right? That you don't need to have, right? Which draw men to destruction and perdition. What's perdition? Perdition is evil. All right. So you get drowned in evil. You get caught up. Okay. So we should not be desiring to be rich, huh? Because you might get that money now, but that might be a consolation prize. You might be rich now, but you ain't getting that later, right? So we have to be mindful of that. Okay. Ruth? Luke what? I didn't hear you.
6 and 24.
Oh, you're talking about the rich man? Right, rich man. Right. So, I don't want to go there. But I'm saying though, if somebody is rich, there's a law for them too. Give me stay in the same chapter and give me the 17th verse.
First Timothy 6 and 17.
Right. So now the Most High happen to, in your faithfulness, bring you into some riches that you did not for desire. Right? Let's see how to handle it. Read.
Charge them that are rich in this world.
Rich in this world, that means having money, right? Coming in, read on.
That they be not high-minded.
They be not what?
High-minded.
Right, don't get rich and think you the king now. Right? You the boss, you the baller. Right? Don't get high-minded, read on.
Nor trust in uncertain riches.
Right? Come on.
But in the living power, who giveth us richly all things to enjoy.
Come on.
That they do good, that they be rich in good works, ready to distribute, wanting to communicate.
Right. If you got riches, be ready to distribute and be willing to communicate with your people. Don't hide yourself and keep it gated. And now you got to ring the thing and then try to get access and sorry, you're not on the list. Then you're going to move and keep it gated and everybody can't even visit you. Right? because you're trying to lock yourself up from all your brethren. So show me out. What's that? Yeah, pull that way. We didn't go there. But you can write it down, Luke 6:25 for the rich man. All right. Read on. Verse 19.
Laying up in store for themselves a good foundation against the time to come,
Right?
that they may lay hold on eternal life.
Right. So if you're rich and you do do good works, you're laying up and you're in store what treasures in heaven. Okay? That's what you're doing. So even though you're having this kingdom, you're gonna have in the kingdom to come because you didn't use it, you didn't abuse what the Most High gave you in this kingdom. Everybody understand that? You will still be in a position to receive, right? Because you use the riches the Most High gave you in this kingdom to what? To abound in righteous works, right? And that's what we're supposed to be doing with that. Okay. One more. Matthew 6. Yeah.
6:19.
Matthew 6:19. Matthew 6 and verse 19.
Matthew 6 and 19. Lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth,
Right?
where moth and rust does corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal. But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust does corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal.
Right. So this charge went to those that have possessions. So don't get too crazy by your possessions here, but lay them up in heaven. Make sure you do a good work so what the Most High bless you with. Read on.
For where your treasure is,
Right?
there will your heart be also.
Yeah, let your treasure be the good works. Right? Let your heart be concentrating on the good works. Right? Brotherly love. Okay. Law, statute, commandments. Keeping the feast days, keeping the holy days, doing all that the Most High told you to do. You know, move with an honest heart. Right? Speak honesty. All right? These are the ways of the Most High. Okay, the fruit of the Spirit, kind, gentle. All right, read.
The light of the body is the eye.
Right.
If therefore thine eye be single,
Come on.
thy whole body shall be full of light.
Read.
But if thy eye be evil,
come on,
thy whole body shall be full of darkness.
All right, so what you focus on is what you're going to be full of. All right, what you focus on is what you're going to be full of. Focusing on righteousness, that's what you're going to be full of. Focus on wickedness, that's what you're going to be full of. Read on.
If therefore the light that is in thee be darkness, how great is that darkness?
Right.
No man can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other,
right,
or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. Ye cannot serve the Most High and mammon.
Right, exactly. So you can't try to, get a piece of both pies.
Double dip.
And we double dipping. Right? You're about this, you're about the Most High, you're about these scriptures, you're about your heritage, your Hebrew Israelite, keeping the Torah, do that, no matter what your financial situation is. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Let's go back to St. John.
The next two scriptures are going into the raiment and the food.
Yeah, I'm aware. I'm gonna move on to back to St. John. St. John 2, and we're at verse we start at verse 12, and right now we're at verse 19.
St. John 2 and 19. Yahweh shall answer and said unto him, destroy this temple, and in 3 days.
We're not there yet.
16.
16, okay.
And said unto them that sold doves, take these things hence. Make not my father's house in a house of merchandise.
Right, so he ran them out of the sanctuary, overthrew the table, had a whip of 9 chains, and was whipping them to get them out of there. Right? Read on.
And his disciples remembered that it was written, the zeal of thine house hath eaten me up.
Right?
Then answered the Jews and said unto him, what sign showest thou unto us, seeing that thou doest these things? Yahushua answered and said unto them, destroy this temple, and in 3 days I will raise it up. Then said the Jews, 46 years was this temple in building, and wilt thou rear it up in 3 days?
Right.
But he spake of the temple of his body.
Right.
When therefore he was risen from the dead, his disciples remembered that he had said this unto them, and they believed the scripture and the word which Yahushua had said. Now when he was in Jerusalem at the Passover in the feast day, many believed in his name. And when they saw the miracles which he did, but Yahushua did not commit himself unto them, because he knew all men, and needed not that any should testify of man, for he knew what was in man.
Right, so he knew what was in his mind. So he said, when he said, what we gonna learn from what you did? That's what they asked Yahushua. What are we supposed to learn from what you just did? Throw over the tables and the scores. He says, listen, he learned that you gotta be brave, man. That you can't be worried about your life. He knew he was risking his life when he tossed those tables. But he said, they destroy this temple, Most High gonna rear it back up. He said, listen, they can try to put their hands on me, but he knew that what? Yeah, that he would be back. If they took this, if they tried to kill him, that he would be coming back. So he showed them that he was fearless in standing for what's right in the spirit of the Most High. So that is the gospel portion as well. We have completed all 3 portions. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. The Most High, hallelujah. At this time, we're going to set up the closing prayer. Any announcements? Don't forget, Wednesday is new moon. Wednesday evening. We already did the new moon preparation. Any other announcements we got going on?
We have the song class tomorrow. What time? 10 o'clock? All right, song class for sisters only.
Sister song class.
Sisters sewing class. All right, and talking to Sister Hanukkah, I asked her to be put on the sisters chat. Raise your hand, sister. All right, she's been getting a lot of donations, personal hygiene items, clothes, shoes, sneakers, whatever, so forth. Next week, Shabbat, maybe during lunch break, we want to post outside and, hand some of the stuff out to the community. All right, so also I want to, the brothers can bring in, some water. We want to give out some cold water, maybe. And if we can have some like sandwiches, like regular, like maybe turkey and cheese sandwiches, we can put in some black bags. Maybe have like about 50 sandwiches. Is that enough? About 50 sandwiches. That should be okay. 50 sandwiches and the water, and then we can give it out with the clothing and stuff like that. So this is going to be next week Shabbat. We'll probably do it during a break. Speak to my God, if somebody can have maybe bring in a tent, we can put the tent in front of those 2 parking spots that we usually leave empty, and we'll set up right there and have the tent right there. And that'll be, because we've been collecting this stuff for, maybe a month or 2, or 3 months maybe. So we have some of the stuff in storage, so I'm going to bring all the stuff out of storage. Some stuff we have here, we're going to hand that out next week Sabbath. So we're going to have brothers supervising, but sisters that want to volunteer to help, we can see Sister Hanukkah. She's also the back to school drive. She wants to take part in that. She's going to have a list of parents that one assistant, she wants to get a knapsack and fill it, with paper, pencils, whatever items for back to school. You can put your name on the list, put the child's age, and we can have that prepared for back to school. So if you'd like to be a part of that, or if you'd like to help donate, for the cause, getting Sister Hanukkah with that as well. Um, that's it for that. So any other announcements? Tabernacles. Tabernacles is when again? October 13th. Don't forget to get your, what dates did we say? Because it was booked up.
18.
The
13th to the 18th.
13th to 18th. So get your booth October 13th to the 18th. Right. Any other announcement?
Any announcements? Anything going on in Israel we need to know about? I always ask this question. I always care about stuff later on. And I'm like, why didn't you say it during the announcements? Nobody says anything during the announcements. Okay. Like, this is the time. You need this room to know something. Like to know something. This is the time. All right, got something coming up. Something you need to know about. As a congregation, as a family, as a nation. This is the time to speak your peace.
What are the dates for the summit in Israel?
The summit in Israel is going to be
December
December
25th.
25th.
So I think January 1st to the 2nd.
We're gonna have a summit before that.
Huh?
We're gonna have another summit before Israel.
What, the Hebrew summit?
Yeah.
No, I'm casting lots, but I'm proposing that the next Hebrew Israelite summit is going to be right here in Florida.
That's right.
I told him, nobody can host like LOZ. So, but Elder Barak, he was mentioning January, the third week of January. But I think I may have to talk to him because that's close to the Demona summit. So, yeah, we do, but there's so many stuff in between now. So, and then we right. So maybe we could do it in the January, but I have to have another cousin. But definitely, it's between Florida and North Carolina. But yeah, but then it'd be too far away. Right. But that'll be too far away,
Even if Pure comes up around the same time, that won't really hinder us. Because we don't really go that far out from Pure. We do have a 2-day feast here, we don't really rent that place and all those stuff that they need to Pure. So,
all right, so just to recap, we need about 50 sandwiches for next week. Have them pre-wrapped in a glad bag. You can store them in the refrigerator. We have the storage for the waters, and Sister Hanukkah, just make a list. Sisters that wanna participate next weekend, just talk, get with Sister Hanukkah on that, and also you can let her know about the back to school. If you would like your child to receive, a back to school kit, let her know that as well. All right, sewing class tomorrow 10 a.m. This is nothing else.
that's it.
Hurry up. Time is running out.
All right, so with that being said, we're gonna close out the Shabbat service. We're gonna rise and face Jerusalem. Abadu Panya Jerusalem, stand and face Jerusalem for the closing prayers and praise.
little stuff cry.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Who's the power? Who's the power? By Hashem. By Hashem. Kuras. Holy is the name. Amanawa. Yahweh. Holy is the name. Mashiach. Yahushai. Kwam Amanawa Yahweh. Kwam Amanawa Yahweh. Kwam Amashiach Yahushai. Kwam Amashiach Yahushai. Kwam Yasharala. Kwam Yasharala. Barakatha Yahweh. Bahashem. Hamashiach. Yahushai. Ahawa'ah. Delanawa. Hashabat. Bashalom. Babukushah. Shemai. Zapalayim. Barak. Barapah. Bakazak. Ramakan. Bashma'el. Akim. Wa. Akrathim. Babukushah. Yahweh. Bahashem. Hamashiach. Yahushai. Yochak. Shaitan. Yochak. Shaitan. Yochak. Kol. Rai. Rahayim. Yochak. Kol. Rai. Rahayim. Babukushah. All praises be to the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, whose mercy truly endured forever. We thank Yahweh for giving us the Shabbat day in peace. We ask you, Yahweh, to heal, protect, cover, strengthen the children of Israel. We also ask the Most High to rid us of all evil spirits, kill all the workers of Shaitan from the midst of thy people. Cover us with thy angels in these last days. Put a hedge around each and one of our families, that Satan may not break through nor steal. And bless us as we go throughout the week to praise thy name. Put the meditation of thy word within our minds, that we might repent, we might call on thy name throughout the week. All this we ask in the name of Mashiach Yahushua. Let all that have breath praise Yahweh. Hallelujah. Let all that have breath praise Yahweh. Hallelujah. Bahashem Mashiach Yahushua. The water to the yard. Amen. You want to say hallelujah. In the mouth of babes, Yahweh perfect your way. In the mouth of babes, Yahweh perfect your way. In the mouth of babes, Yahweh perfect your way. Hallelujah. In the mouth of babes. You never Preach it to the neighbor.